I'm Kylie.
I'm Hannah.
And welcome back to our channel. Okay, so today we have a Q&A.
Yeah, totally.
We reached out to you guys via Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, let's go follow us there now.
Right here. I'll put it in the right here.
So we reached out to you guys via Instagram and asked you to drop some questions that you would want us to answer. So we compiled them all on this list here, and we're gonna get to answering. Let's just jump right into it. First question is, how did you meet?
So we had a mutual friend that I grew up with in the same town when I was younger, and she was like, hey, like, you should be friends with this girl, Kylie, because I had just decided to move to Spartanburg to go to SMC, and I wouldn't have known anyone, and she also said the same thing to you.
And then, like, I was down in Charleston visiting her, and Hannah was also in Charleston at the time, just by chance, and so we were within our Tinder match radius, and so we were like close enough to be on each other's Tinder profiles, and we matched, yeah.
But
Messaged each other until I found out that she was moving to Spartanburg to play softball, and then I reached out and I DM'd her on Instagram.
what did you say?
I don't know, but I reached out about her her ukulele that she had just bought. We made a TikTok about it. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Who's older? So Kylie is older. She's 24 and I'm 21.
Hannah's about to have a birthday though.
Yeah, October 8th.
She's gonna be a big 22.
What is that, my Taylor year?
You're a Taylor Swift year. Someone asked how our age difference plays into our relationship, and to be honest, aside from the fact that Hannah's in school and I am not, it doesn't really affect us much. I think part of the reason why I was so drawn to Hannah and vice versa is the level of like maturity. I feel like we're pretty even keel.
Independence.
We're very independent people. Yeah, so it hasn't really played into our relationship too much. The next question is, do we make friends easy?
Yes.
Yes.
We
The short of it is yes. I think lately it's been a big point for the both of us to really zone in on those people that put time into us, so we know who to put our time into as well, and I think that's important for everyone. You have a lot of friends and that's fine, but when it comes to your close friends and the people that you're putting your emotions and energy into, sometimes it takes a little longer to figure that out, and I think we're figuring it out right now.
Definitely. We have struggled with that lately.
For sure.
But I mean, that's just a part of life.
Anything else?
Favorite song right now? This is really hard. We haven't been allocating any of our time to finding music. I know a lot of time, like, I go through the day and all I hear in my head are TikTok songs.
Yeah.
Consistently. All day.
Oh well.
But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for new music, comment that down below.
We
because
love that.
we love new music. We listen to anything.
Next question is, do you want kids and how many? Again, the short of it is yes.
Eventually.
Yeah, it's funny because we just had this conversation not too long ago. It was like we were literally sitting in the Home Depot parking lot, like talking about kids for some reason. I don't really know how the conversation started. And then we were both kind of like at the same time, that's Raj's tail was in the camera. We were both kind of just like at the same time like, I don't want kids right now.
Yeah.
I couldn't do kids right now. And so then we decided, I think at that point, that kids are a later in life experience for both of us.
So I don't think that we want kids until like 28, early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah.
Just because like we want to have the time to spend with each other and our experiences and traveling, and there's so much to see and do, and I don't think we necessarily want to.
I feel like it's fair to be selfish in your 20s,
yeah.
and if you're both on the same page about it, then, you know, at least you're on the same page about it. And everybody's path is different, and everybody has different wants and desires at this point in life, and for the both of us, that's just not in the cards right now. But we're excited to do all the things that we do want to do, so when we get to that point, we feel fulfilled.
Yeah, definitely.
In all the experiences that we've had.
Did you pay your parking tickets? This is actually from my dad.
Hi, Taylor.
So, hey Dad, I hope you're watching this. I did pay most of my tickets. I am contesting too, but yeah, it was like $145.
If you're living in Charleston, I'm sorry.
They love to exploit college kids.
Honestly, where do you want to travel? Greece.
Yeah, I want to go everywhere.
Yeah, it's hard to narrow it down, but if I had to pick somewhere right now to go, like leave tomorrow, I would want to go to Greece. It's just beautiful. I think and the history there is amazing, and like yeah, Greece for sure. What about you?
I say I've always wanted to go to India or Thailand or
That would be amazing.
Is Charleston expensive? Yes and no. Mostly yes. I think it depends on where you go. If you're downtown or you're on Mount Pleasant, then things are going to be more on the expensive side, especially living. The hard thing about downtown is that there's King Street.
Yeah.
And if you're going to shop anywhere downtown, you're going to be on King Street, and it's expensive. Like I said about parking tickets, they love to get parking tickets here. They find you.
And then like even if you're just like stopped somewhere on the side of the street, like picking up your to-go order, and they walk by, they have this little picture thing, and they'll take a picture of your license plate, and then like 2 months later, you're gonna get something in the mail that's like, you parked here illegally.
Yeah. And I literally got one for like $15. I was like,
yeah.
I'm in the car.
Next question, celebrity crush.
You want to say the same time?
For me?
Yeah.
Or for you?
For both of us.
No, for you. Let's start with you. 1, 2, 3, Ginny Annie. Hannah has an obsession with Jennifer Aniston.
She's beautiful.
I was telling her I don't really feel like I have crushes on.
She does. I know one.
Okay.
Blake Lively.
Yeah, Blake Lively. But I feel like it's like I don't know if I want to be with her, if I want to be her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, am I obsessed with her because she's pretty, or do I think she's like hot? You know, who knows? Haven't figured that one out yet.
Best part about living together. Everything.
Yeah.
No, we really do have a great relationship, especially in regards to living together. Like I feel like we hold our responsibilities evenly. Like there's a lot of things that Kylie does, and I appreciate her for it. And there's a lot of things I do, which she appreciates me for.
You hesitated. I appreciate her.
I know she does. But yeah, I don't feel like we have ever gone through anything in our relationship because of
us living together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I think the best part about living together is that it hasn't been difficult.
Yeah.
We divide our responsibilities evenly, like Hannah said. Like, she usually cooks and does the dishes and stuff like that, and I usually am responsible for the laundry, and like, I feel like even we both clean up certain areas of the house, and that's our responsibility, but I mean, like, we're both clean people, we like to be organized. Sometimes we like literally can't sleep or settle in to our house until it's clean, so we like
we literally did that the other day.
Right.
It's like we both had so much work to do.
Our cat is so cute. He's sleeping right now, sitting up.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like we do bigger sometimes because of small stuff. But like,
yeah, I thought you said because of sauce.
Sitting there,
sauce.
barbecue sauce on my titties.
How do I come out to my mom?
Fancy.
I think that the #1 piece of advice is what we always tell anyone. Anytime we're on TikTok Live and someone asks this question, we're always like, you have to be safe. It's just a priority and you have to make it one. And of course, we don't know you, so we don't know what your situation's like. So for us to say anything other than that beforehand would be, you know, scary. It would be dangerous.
And I think safe in multiple ways. Like physically safe, like you don't want to come out to a situation where you could potentially be harmed. But also financially, emotionally, like if you do not have the means of living on your own, or you're underage, or like whatever it may be, like your college is getting paid for by your parents, like you have to think about your future, you have to think about your way out.
Long story short, it's just to be safe, and then an open line of communication, and remembering that your parents have had this idea of who you are in their head since you were born, whether you're a girl or a boy. Honestly, like usually I don't want to, you know, umbrella anyone into like everyone feels this way, but a lot of parents from the time that their child is born have this dream of who they're going to grow up to be, and usually it's the typical route of marriage and having kids, and when you come out to your family, that's like a halt to their dreams that they had for you.
Yeah, it's a culture shock to them.
And at the end of the day, what's most important is your happiness and making sure that you're living the life that's going to fulfill you, but you also have to be mindful of the disturbance in their, or the disruption in their mind of, this is what I thought was going to happen and now it's not going to happen anymore. And it's just them coming to terms with that.
Keys to a healthy woman, loving woman relationship.
Yeah.
So Kylie and I talk about this all the time because we see a lot of creators or influencers or just people
Whoever,
giving
blanket advice.
To people who are young or new to the community, and we think it's almost dangerous and wrong to give you guys advice that isn't
individualized to your own relationship.
Exactly. And I think you can give like
the basics,
obviously like communication, like
understanding, trust, like all of the things that matter to pretty much every relationship. But I mean, it's so hard to not know someone and like what they are asking for, and then just to be like, well, communication is really important, like for X, Y, and Z, because communication might not be a problem for you in your relationship, you know?
Yeah.
But I think if we were to give any piece of advice about any relationship, regardless if it's LGBTQ or not, I think communication is probably number one, because you just don't know how your partner is feeling unless you talk about it.
Yeah.
And you don't know about experiences or trauma that your partner has had unless you talk about it. Other than that, some things are just more important to certain relationships than they are to others.
Definitely. Communicate, be empathetic, treat it like any other relationship or friendship that you have in your life.
Absolutely. Another big piece of advice with women loving women relationships, I think that if we were going to tell anybody, would be to work on not being codependent, because it will literally ruin your relationship. And I think that we actively tried to avoid it, and then we kind of fell into it, and we personally saw how detrimental it can be. At the beginning, it was easier because Hannah was in school, I was working full time, and Hannah was also playing softball, and then COVID hit and everything stopped, and we spent every second of every day together.
Every weekend we went together.
And then we kind of fell in this routine of like not being able to get out of that habit, and you just start to lose your sense of self and your sense of independency.
I think it's hard to cope with that. I think that's why like sometimes we may bicker or lash out at one another. Like for example, we started noticing that we kept referring to we, which I just did it right there. Like if we were supposed to go somewhere for dinner and then we decided to not go, we would text one of our friends and be like,
we won't be there. Instead of Hannah texting them and being like, hey guys, like I can't come, and then me texting them being like, hey, I won't be there. It's like everything is a we statement instead. And so we had to tackle that immediately. We've been working really hard on that. As well as now that things are starting to open back up around us, just taking the time to be like, I know you might not want to do this today, but I want to do this, so I'm gonna go do this. It's nothing, it has nothing to do with me not wanting to spend time with you. Almond milk versus oat milk.
Kylie doesn't really have an opinion because she only drinks 2%. But honestly, I used to be really into almond milk, but I have found that oat milk is very good. I think that I like oat milk better than almond milk. Do you want more animals, another dog, or are we bringing Indy? So,
you guys want to see Indy like live and in action?
So she's an angel.
She is.
First off, I never expected us to get a dog like this. She turned out to be very good. Anyway, this is our baby. This is Indy.
She is oh my god, she's
so fluff.
She's a child. She's our child.
She is. This is why we don't want children.
Right? Yeah. She's like a full-time kid, and we love her very much.
So we have Indy and we have 2 cats, and
I don't think we want any more animals.
No, it's just really honestly a lot right now with the 2 cats.
Coming out story.
So I didn't necessarily come out. I was forced to come out the closet. Long story short, I had a coach that was talking about other lesbians, and I reacted negatively to it. And so my dad caught on. I spit. My dad caught on to like how I was feeling. Okay, bye. To how I was feeling at practice that one day, and he asked me, and I came out to my dad, and he didn't really say much about it, but then he told me I had to tell my mom.
Right.
And I was terrified because I was my mom's pageant girl. Like I don't think she ever expected that I would be a lesbian. So that relationship at the beginning up until I left for college was really difficult, but they're fantastic now. The whole situation is in a complete 180. Like they're very supportive, they're very understanding. They want to learn more about being in the community. They love Kylie.
I love them too. They're very
like
sweet.
their second daughter.
Yeah. They're very, very sweet.
So yeah, that's my story.
I didn't come out until I was 22. I had a long-term relationship with a boy, so obviously me coming out was like a culture shock to my dad, which is fair. I mean, for 4 years he had this idea of who I was going to be, kind of what we were talking about earlier. And then once that relationship ended, I had the opportunity. I mean, we dated from when I was, I think 16 or 17 up until I was 21 or 22 at that time. And, or no, it would have been 21. And so after that relationship ended, I feel like I had the opportunity to explore my sexuality, things that I hadn't even thought to think about while I was dating someone, especially in a heterosexual relationship. And so when I had the opportunity to explore myself, obviously I took advantage of it. And I think that's important for anyone, but especially someone who might be curious and like has been in a long-term relationship. I think giving yourself time and space to figure your shit out is very important. So I did. I ended up meeting a girl and we dated for about a year, and then I still, while we were dating, didn't come out, and then we decided to just be friends. It was a fine breakup, like we're still good friends now. But then after that relationship ended, I spent like the summer being like just contemplating if I wanted to come out like publicly and how that was going to go over. And I think my dad had his ideas, but we never had a conversation about it. I never talked about it. It was just kind of there and no one spoke about it. And so then I went to Pride in August with my best friend Alex, and when we got home I was like, you know what, like I'm over waiting about this. Like I don't want to just, I'm like over waiting for something that I shouldn't have to wait for. Like I don't really know why I was ignoring it. At that point, I wasn't financially dependent on my parents anymore, and I had every reason to come out, so I did. I posted an Instagram story and kind of announced it to the world, and then yeah, my dad found out. But that situation in itself is still happening. It's still kind of simmering, and that's okay. But I also told my sister, and my sister was amazing about it. She has met Hannah. She's extremely supportive, and I'm very thankful for that. But it just goes kind of back to what we were talking about earlier. You have to give your family as much time as they need, and sometimes it's never going to be okay, and that's okay too. I'm really close with Hannah's family. They've really taken me in and loved on me and supported me, and as of right now, that's all I could ask for. So yeah, everyone's story is different, and those are our stories.
Did you struggle to find a label that felt right? So when I came out, I was 14 or 15, I can't really remember, but I was really young, and at that point in time, like I was still praying that I wouldn't be a lesbian, or like hoping nobody would find out that I had been texting girls or whatever. So I was like, maybe I'm bisexual, like people are gonna accept that more if I also tell people that I'm still interested in boys. Even though I knew I wasn't. Like I had boyfriends to cover up the fact that I was a lesbian. But yeah, and then ever since then I was like, nope, this isn't for me, like I'm a lesbian, this is who I am, like I'm proud of it, I'm not gonna hide that from anyone. So yeah, I straight bisexual for like 2 minutes and then lesbian.
Yeah, I think I struggled with the same thing. Obviously, like dating a boy for so long, once I realized that I might not be straight, I was like, well, I dated a boy for so long, so like there's no way I could just be like full lesbian after
Full lesbian.
full lesbian after such a long-term relationship. Like that just like was hard for me to accept within myself, kind of some internalized homophobia. And then I think midway through my first relationship with a girl, I was like, there's nothing in me that feels compelled to date men, to be with men sexually. Like I just like didn't even want to think about it. There was no draw there for me, and I was like, I felt entirely confident and fully comfortable in calling myself a lesbian, and I've been in that position ever since.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't have to label yourself.
No, not at all.
And if I didn't feel comfortable labeling myself at that point in time, I feel like Hannah feels the same way. Or at any point, even now, if I had this epiphany about myself and I'm like, I am in a lesbian relationship, but I think that maybe if something were to happen, like I could potentially date boys again, like there should be no conflict in admitting to yourself or anybody else that your sexuality is fluid. Like
It's really no one's business.
absolutely. And sometimes that happens. We have friends that have been in like heterosexual relationships who are still in those relationships and have come to terms with the fact that they're bisexual, and that conversation is important to have with your partner.
Yeah, I you know how I feel about this, but I feel like sexuality is fluid, and I think you feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would say I identify as a lesbian, and like I feel comfortable in that label, but at the same time it's just life. It's just figuring yourself out. Yes, we did struggle with finding a label, both of us, for certain reasons when we came out. Fun date ideas and things we like to do together. This is our last question, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like this is hard to answer right now just because of everything with the coronavirus.
It is hard.
It is hard to like find cute dates because things might not be open or they require a reservation, or so I feel like we've just spending a lot of time together. Like we have a lot of dinners at home. We paint.
Also, so sorry for the obvious lighting change. The sun is setting, so we have a short amount of time left to speak. Our usual lighting is unavailable at this time, but it'll be better next time, I promise.
For sure.
Put a heart below if you think we should go to Disney and we should convince Hannah. Other than that, we love to travel. We love to be spontaneous.
Yeah, we get to the beach a lot.
We're beach girls.
Yep.
If you guys have any, that's another thing you guys can leave in the comments. If you have any cute COVID date ideas that don't require going places or whatever, or even if it does, but like safely, please let us know. We would absolutely love that because we have been in dire need of some date ideas.
We DIY a lot.
We do DIY.
Like go thrift and DIY.
Yeah, I consider that a date with you. It's always fun.
Consider every day a date with you.
Every day is a date with you, baby. Alright, well that was the last question, so I think this wraps it up.
Yeah, this video is gonna be like 40 minutes long. But that's fine. I hope you guys watch it the whole way through.
If you guys stuck it out, you're a real OG and we appreciate and love you very much.
Yeah.
I was gonna say even if you didn't, we still love you, but they wouldn't see this anyways. As always, if you have any ideas for videos that you'd like to see, please leave those in the comments as well. We were just sent a package from a company to try something out, so I think that might be our next video. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Excited. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing,
yeah,
I'm gonna be putting it in the description below. It's from this store called Love Proud. They give 15% of their purchases to LGBTQ youth organization. They also have their own line of Black Trans Lives Matter shirts and merch. So check them out. I'm gonna be giving you my code for 15% off down below.
very cool. It's so cute.
It says,
also, if you can't read it, it says
all good things stem from kindness.
Just so true. It's very sweet.
Yeah, no, they have really cool stuff. It's important stuff. Mostly all of it has a message. So yeah.
We'll link that in the description as well.
Alright, yeah, I think that's it.
Alright, we love you guys.
Love you
We'll
guys so
see you
much.
right back here, same time next week.